Hey guys, so if you're new here, my name's Ian, and if you're not, welcome back. So today we're going to be talking about this guy, the MacBook Pro. Now this is the M1 Pro 14-inch MacBook Pro. Now that is a mouthful. They could have just made it more simple by killing off the 13-inch MacBook Pro and just saving everyone a headache because, well, I guess now it's 13-inch M2 MacBook Pro, but don't get it. Do not, no, 13-inch MacBook Pro, no, do not get it. Go for a 14-inch M1 Pro, or even Max if you want, or get the M2 Pro that Apple recently released. So today we're going to be talking about why I absolutely love this computer, and what Apple's doing with their own silicon. To start off, my Mac is a 10-core CPU with the M1 Pro chip. Now I chose this option because I wanted something that was going to be a little more powerful than the baseline. This is the option that's one up from the baseline. I didn't go out and customize it how Apple had it set. I was like, yeah, I like that, and went with that. So it's not the $2,000 model, it's the model up for that. Now I did get it before I went back to school, so it was with education discount, and that's also why I didn't wait to get the M2 Pros, as there were rumors that the M2 Pro MacBook Pros were going to be coming out soon. They were rumored for November, although it seems that Apple actually did plan to have them out in November, but they were released last week. So it is pretty cool seeing the jumps that Apple is making year after year with Apple Silicon, because we started off with the M1 chip, and that's in devices like my iPad Air. It was in the iPad Pro, which was then replaced with the M2 iPad Air, which again is kind of a waste. So it seems to be like, from what I've been reading on Twitter and also seeing from my own personal experience of using devices with the M1 chip, M1 Pro, and M2 chips, is the M2 chip, as of now, this can change. I can totally be wrong by saying this, but from what I've seen, and even what I've seen from people on Twitter, it's starting to be micro upgrades, essentially, year after year. Now, also, these computers are designed for people not to upgrade year after year. It's not like my iPhone, where I'm inclined to get the new one because maybe my battery's not that great or something like that. These computers are designed to last, and that's something I love about my MacBook. My old MacBook was a 2017 MacBook Pro. It was an Intel one, and the fans were on almost every day. Now, that MacBook Pro still gets used. It can still run macOS Ventura, the latest version, 13.2, at the time of filming, which I think is pretty cool that a 5, almost 6-year-old computer now can work for 5-6 years. And we haven't had any problems. We did have a problem with the keyboard, but butterfly keyboards suck. I'm gonna say it now. I don't know why we had to go away from the keyboards that we had on the old Macs. While I do like the design they brought about, it just sucked. I'm sorry. I love the normal switch method that we have with the regular MacBooks, or like this one here. My MacBook has it, and I love it. And another thing I love about this MacBook, the battery life. I haven't heard the fans turn on once, and that's how you know the M1 Pro chip is pulling its weight. And that plays right into battery life. The M1 Pro chip, because Apple is making the chips, is so much more optimized for macOS than it was back with my Intel Mac. Now, maybe back when I first got my Intel Mac, it was great, and Apple was making their operating system still with the Intel chips in mind. Now they're doing it for both sets, and my old MacBook, I constantly hear the fans turn on if you freaking breathe too loud near it. It's crazy. Like, I have videos of my old MacBook, and it sounds like my computer is ready to take flight with how loud it was. Like, I've also seen some things on Twitter where saying you can use your old MacBooks as space heaters, and you really could, with how hot they got and how warm they got. That's why the fans had to turn on at full blast. I have not once heard the fans turn on my MacBook Pro. Yeah, no, I don't think I've ever heard them turn on. And I put this through a lot. I put it through editing with iMovie, editing my thumbnails as well for this channel, and I do that through Safari. I use Adobe Express, I think it's called now. They keep changing the name. And it's great. Never heard the fans turn on. Now, I do edit mostly off of external hard drives just to make it easier so I'm not clogging up my SSD. Because now, I did go for the 1TB SSD, but you can fill that up fast, especially with these video files that are decently large. It can fill up pretty quick, so I didn't want to have to worry about that. Now, I did also get 1TB to put whatever the hell I want on this. And I've put some things on it for school or for other things that I just want. And having actual ports on my computer, which is another. So we have the MagSafe, which they brought back, which I actually have not used. I still am using my old USB-C plug that came with my old MacBook. We do have 2 USB-C ports, a headphone jack, an HDMI port, another USB-C port, and an SD card slot. Now my old MacBook, 2 USB-C ports. Why? Why was it necessary to go and remove those ports? It wasn't. It genuinely wasn't. There was no reason to not have ports, in my opinion, on that computer. I would have taken a little bulkier. Like this 14-inch I have, it's a little thick, and it weighs a little. It weighs a little, but with how powerful this is and how seamless my experience has been and how great this computer is, I love it. And when you bring in my iPad to take notes when I want to, take my Apple Pencil and write, is amazing. Now, don't get me started, we should have Apple Pencil on the iPhone. That's a topic for another day. But also, my iPhone, it all works. My Apple Watch can unlock this. It's great. And we do also have Touch ID on these Macs, which is nice to see. Would have been nice for Apple to implement Face ID, as these computers do have a big notch on them. But I will take the edge-to-edge display, as when I do use my old MacBook from time to time, I am kind of like, this design is so dated. But also I do feel that the design is dated because we have gotten this gorgeous 14-inch, 16-inch computer. But overall, what Apple is doing with Apple Silicon, whether it's an M1, an M2, an M1 Pro, an M1 Max, an M2 Pro, an M1 Ultra, I forgot about that one actually, it's great. And I'm so excited to see where the future is going to take us and where it's going to take Apple and what they're going to do in the future. Like their VR headset that's apparently coming out this year, but it might be delayed. Who knows? Only time will really tell us what Apple's doing, as the M1 chip in my iPad Air, amazing. This thing can handle so much. Mine is getting hot when I'm taking notes with my Apple Pencil, which is something I don't understand, but that's only in the Notes app. Every other app it works fine with. To this gorgeous piece of tech that is insane. It's insanely powerful. It really can handle it all. As I said, from the battery life to the ports to the chip and the software optimization, Apple has done amazing things. Now, if you've had a different experience with M1, I want to hear it. I want you to leave a comment and I want to talk about it, because I think this is such a great thing. It's such a great innovation that Apple has done, but you might not agree. So I really want to hear. Maybe you've had a bad experience. Maybe something's gone horribly wrong. So I really want to hear about that down below. And also, while you're down there, if you want to hit the subscribe button and hit the thumbs up if you like the content I'm producing. I do have other videos. You should see them over here. And that's my face. You can also click there to subscribe. But I want you guys to remember, today's a good day to make a great day. And I'll talk to you in the next one. Peace.